It's a story as old as civilization itself. Thousands of years before we had standardized tests and fitness challenges, humans looked for ways to evaluate their knowledge and skills. More often than not, that meant comparing themselves to other humans. As social psychologist Leon Festinger, PhD, noted in a 1954 study, inaccurate appraisals of one's ability can be punishing or even fatal in many situations. Pick the wrong opponent because you overestimate your fighting skills, and it could literally be deadly. My name is Jeremy Colon, and this is The Dark Side of Fitness, Episode 4. Most of the time, Dr. Festinger wrote, we avoid comparing ourselves to people who clearly better or worse at something. For instance, a person who's doing their first set of barbell squats doesn't compare themselves to an elite powerlifter, nor does an elite athlete compare themselves to a beginner. But it only works that way if you understand to whom you're comparing yourself. Your self-esteem will take a huge hit if you think someone who's much stronger, smarter, or even attractive represents a realistic, achievable standard. Here's an example. In a 1983 experiment, researchers showed a group of female participants pictures of attractive women. When they were told the women were professional models, the images didn't change their self-image. They understood it was an unrealistic standard for evaluation, but when they were told the women were part of their peer group, their level of body satisfaction took a hit. That brings us to Fitspo, also known as Fitspiration. These are fitness images meant to inspire. You can see a lot of them on Instagram and Facebook. Because it's social media, you feel the people in the images are your peers. Even if their body types is very different from yours and their level of conditioning is unrealistic for someone who hasn't built their life around achieving and maintaining it. Naturally, when you compare yourself to someone you perceive as far more attractive than you, what researchers describe as an upward physical appearance comparison, you downgrade your evaluation of your own appearance. So, the opposite is a downward physical appearance comparison. Strangely and insidiously, when we compare our appearance to people we perceive as less attractive, we don't just feel better about ourselves, we feel contempt for the other person. Young adult women are the most avid consumers of Fitspiration content. They're also the group most at risk of eating disorders, which are linked to body dissatisfaction. Body dissatisfaction, in turn, is linked to social media use. But not all women have this reaction to the idealized images they see online. Some visit Fitspiration sites without feeling worse about their own appearance. What's their secret? According to a new study, it's self-compassion. How the study worked. The researchers looked at 3 potentially negative effects of Fitspiration: upward appearance comparison, body dissatisfaction, drive for thinness. They then looked at the potentially moderating effects of self-compassion, which has 6 elements. Self-kindness, being a gentle, supportive friend to yourself. Common humanity, understanding that all of us are imperfect and nobody is immune from the occasional screw-up. Mindfulness, recognizing when you feel bad about something and focusing on the experience of painful emotions rather than on the emotion themselves. Reduce self-judgment, not beating yourself up when you feel hurt or disappointed. Reduce isolation, not cutting yourself off from others when you go through a rough patch. Reduce over-identification, not letting a bad experience become part of your identity. What the study found. Fitspiration predicted upward appearance comparison for subjects who showed higher self-judgment, higher isolation, higher over-identification. 4 aspects of self-compassion moderated the effect of Fitspiration on the drive for thinness: self-kindness, common humanity, mindfulness, reduced isolation. But self-compassion isn't a superpower or a quick fix. Contrary to the author's prediction, no aspect of self-compassion reduced the link between Fitspiration and body dissatisfaction. In other words, self-compassion works for some people in some situations. Coaching takeaways. Number 1, self-compassion starts at home. Before you encourage yourself to practice self-compassion, make sure you can do it yourself. Put yourself in a position of someone whose response to disappointment is harsh self-criticism. Here are 3 ways to coach yourself. Mindfulness. This is a tough break. Maybe I should have seen it coming, but I didn't, and now I've got to deal with it. Self-kindness. The thing is, I'm not a screw-up. I can make this right, and next time, I'll handle it better. Common humanity. I'm not the first person to trip myself up on something like this, and I won't be the last. Number 2, self-compassion makes you a better person. Self-compassion offers a long list of benefits. Here are some of the most important. You'll feel more personally competent, and the more competent you feel, the less likely you are to fold in high-pressure situations. You'll bounce back faster from disappointments and setbacks. You'll feel more secure in your relationships. You'll feel more satisfied with life. You'll be more open to new experiences, seeking out opportunities to learn and grow without fear of failure. You'll be better at providing support to others, both in what you do and at home. Number 3, know your triggers. Make a list of triggers, the words, foods, or situations that almost always disrupt your equilibrium. What actions, behaviors, or emotions does each of those triggers provoke? What are the consequences of those reactions? Here's a quick little exercise that you can start using immediately. Think of a traffic light. Red means stop, unsafe to go. Yellow means caution. Green means safe to go. You can apply this concept to situations, thoughts and emotions, physical sensations, people, environments, just about anything else you can think of. Making this kind of trigger list in which you assess the relative risk of each situation, or food, or person, or environment, or whatever can help you. Create awareness. Show patterns and links. Work backward to break the chain or pattern. Be compassionate with yourself. Number 4, build an action plan. Maybe you can choose to tackle the bigger trigger, thus eliminating the majority of the problems easily. For instance, getting rid of junk food in the house might eliminate late night binges completely. Maybe you can both choose to tackle the smallest, easiest trigger, thus building a cumulative record of success. Example, coming home for the front door instead of for the kitchen door might eliminate a few mindless swipes at the snack cupboards as you go past. Or maybe you can focus on green light triggers or triggers that inspire positive routines, such as building a power song iPod playlist that triggers epic gym mojo, or starting a day with a veggie pack super shake that triggers a mental high five for healthy eating. If you made it from this part of the video, I want to say thank you for listening through. Let's talk about Fitspiration. As a coach, as a trainer, I train a lot of busy professionals who tend to be women. And in my honest opinion, Fit Inspiration, whether on social media or through friends sharing photos of each other or whatever, can be a bit toxic. Only because it sets unrealistic expectations, especially since everybody has their own individual needs. Everybody has their individual vices and insecurities that we're dealing with day to day. So sometimes we could be triggered when we see someone. We can see someone, either the opposite sex or whatever, or someone who is the same sex as us, who has what we're looking for, has the ideal body image that we want, and we can get convoluted through our own insecurities of jealousy, envy, or whatever, and that could distract us from doing the things that matter most to us and what we need to do best for ourselves. We can get lost in almost the sauce of fitness to the point where it could paralyze us from doing what we have to do for ourselves. It's like I look at someone's picture, they're ripped, six-pack abs. I don't know nothing about that person. I don't know what they had to do. I don't know the trade-offs. I don't know anything about their social lifestyle or whatever the case is. I'm basically basing my whole life, my whole entire entity based off that one picture. And I come out of it thinking that that's impossible. I can't achieve that goal. What's the point of me getting into fitness? What's the point of me actually bettering myself and losing weight or doing whatever, right? If I can't look like that person. And that's just a toxic thing to say to yourself. I feel like it's the most unconstructive way of bettering yourself. Because at the end, right, looking at a picture, looking at a video, looking at a group of bodybuilders or competitors or competitive lifter, we just don't, it's just unreal. It's unrealistic to be like, I am basing my whole work ethic, my whole process, my everything based on what I'm looking at. When really, in fact, we forget that everybody started at ground zero. Everybody had to put the practice, the effort, the time, the discipline, the sacrifice. Again, we're only seeing what's public. We're not seeing what's privately being done behind the scenes. And again, when we look at a Fitspiration photo or a Fitspiration post, we need to look at it more for inspiration for what it is, in the sense that, okay, if that person can do it, so can I. And that's honestly reframing the situation. Not taking it for face value for, I'm looking at a person who's ripped, but taking it as that is what's possible when you combine hard work, dedication, etc., 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 all together, working in tangent and giving it the time it needs for it to grow. Again, our bodies are our own processes. It takes time. It takes effort. It's not going to happen overnight, but it should be a precursor to the potential of what our life could be if we actually give ourselves the chance. So hopefully you enjoyed the video up to this point. Hopefully, if you have any thoughts or concerns or pretty much anything that I said, put in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Definitely would love to have conversations with any of you. As always, please share, like, subscribe, and have a great day. Take care.